Welcome back to This Week in the Pentagon. It is the nation's highest military honor for valor in combat, the Medal of Honor. This week, that award was presented posthumously to a soldier who showed incredible heroism during the Korean War, and who also was a full-blooded Sioux Indian.
Army Master Sergeant Woodrow Wilson Keeble, a veteran of World War II and the Korean War, is a recipient of the Medal of Honor 26 years after his death. On March 3rd, President Bush presented the medal to Keeble's son in a White House ceremony. Master Sergeant Keeble is the first Sioux Indian to receive this honor, but because of a series of clerical errors and years of delays, it is an honor he will never see.
But on behalf of our grateful nation, I deeply regret that this tribute comes decades too late. Woody will never hold this medal in his hands or wear it on his uniform. But there are some things we can still do for him. We can tell his story, and we can honor his memory.
The following day at the Pentagon, Master Sergeant Keeble was inducted into the Hall of Heroes. Deputy Secretary of Defense Gordon England, Secretary of the Army Pete Guerin, all took part in the ceremony, which included presenting the Medal of Honor flag to Sergeant Keeble's stepson, Mr. Russ Hawkins.
Woodrow Keeble showed us again and again, on desperate battlefields far from the home he loved, first in the Pacific and then in Korea, the very best we can be. America needs its heroes, needs men like Woodrow Keeble. We need their service, and perhaps most of all, we need their example. Master Sergeant Keeble, his actions, his name are now forever immortalized in the nation's consciousness. He is part of the national fabric, a reflection of American values.
The story of how Master Sergeant Keeble was nominated for the Medal of Honor began following his actions during the Korean War. However, the paperwork was lost, resubmitted, and lost again. So for Woody Keeble's friends and family, the White House ceremony puts closure on an effort that has taken more than a half-century to realize. The Pentagon Channel's Sergeant Brian Buckwalter met with friends and family of Woody and talked to them about the person behind the bravery.
This land that we're on belongs to our people. This is where our relatives were buried, were born, raised. To defend it doesn't bother us. It's a duty that we're almost obligated to make on behalf of our families and our ancestors.
This belief of service to country runs deep in Sioux culture. That may be part of the reason Woodrow Keeble, or Woody as his friends would call him, joined the Army during World War II. He fought with the 164th Infantry in the Pacific. After the war, Woody returned to Wahpeton, North Dakota. In 1950, a new war began, and in 1951, Woody volunteered to go to Korea.
When somebody was asking, why are you going back in? You fought at Guadalcanal, you fought every year of World War II, why would you go back in? And these were his words. He said, somebody has to teach these boys how to fight.
Men like Woodrow Keeble, Uncle Woody, are very rare in the sense that none of us know how we're going to react under fire or in war, whether it will be terrorized beyond action, will be paralyzed by fear. But we do know one thing about Uncle Woody. He wasn't.
You would do the horrible things that needed to get done to protect. And whether that's facing the enemy by yourself, that's what he did.
It was October 20th, 1951, during Operation Nomad Polar, when Master Sergeant Keeble carried out the mission that would make him a legend.
He took out single-handedly 3 4-man pillboxes, each with a machine gun. And these pillboxes were in a V formation, and they were supported by 2 trenches of enemy soldiers.
It took nearly 4 hours of careful maneuvering, taking out an enemy that squads of men, tanks, and planes could not destroy.
There were so many men later, different quotes from different people that just attribute their life to Woody Keeble. They say, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have made it. He taught us how to survive. He taught us how to stay alive.
During the fight, he was hit with fragmentation and concussion grenades, suffering wounds in his chest, both arms, right calf, left knee, and both thighs.
Whatever strength and courage he had, he abandoned all sense of fear and took on whatever adversaries were in front of him, almost despite his own well-being. That, to me, is hard to understand.
Woody was a warrior for sure, but one with a kind heart and a gentle spirit.
Fierce as a bear in battle with the cubs, let's say, but as gentle to hold a little baby and put that baby to sleep in his arms.
I think Woody enjoyed the little things in life. I think he enjoyed a good steak. He enjoyed a good conversation. He enjoyed a good movie. He enjoyed just a warm, sunny afternoon. And I think it's the little things in life that he enjoyed that superseded his ailments and the lung removed, the tuberculosis he survived, the 83 pieces of shrapnel taken out of him, the different injuries he had. And he didn't focus on his injuries, he focused on the good things left in life.
People respected him, men respected him, not just because of his physical size and prowess, because he was a nice person. He was a genuinely nice person, someone that you would feel honored to call friend, you know, a real friend.
There'd be times where he'd just see a car stuck in the snow and he'd just pull over, get out of his car, go up to the back of the car, grab it by the bumper and push the car right out of the snowbank just by himself, and then get back in the car and away we'd go.
The Medal of Honor years ago was your eagle feathers. And you would see in a lot of motion pictures and movies, the headdresses that, as an individual was on horseback, would touch the ground. Woody, I imagine his headdress would also have a trail that extended on both sides of the horse, all the way to the ground.
Despite many people trying, Woody never got to see his Medal of Honor in his lifetime. But his stepson Russ says his father wasn't bitter. Woody died in 1982, but the effort to get him his medal lived on. Nearly 57 years after Operation Nomad Polar, Master Sergeant Woodrow Wilson Keeble received the military's highest honor for valor in combat.
Woodrow went unacknowledged, and I know he probably didn't care for the limelight. But the fact is, there's no one more deserving than Woodrow of the Medal of Honor, in my opinion. And it's a great recognition by the United States to give this to him posthumously. But in extension, I think it honors all our Dakota veterans that have fought gallantly and maybe have made the ultimate sacrifice.
On Monday, March 17th, the Pentagon Channel will broadcast a documentary special on the extraordinary life and heroism of Master Sergeant Keeble. The report will feature exclusive interviews with his family and friends and their efforts to get him the Medal of Honor.